happens when hate moves from online forums to real life? Well, that's exactly what Indians in America are witnessing right now. It all started with the bizarre and nasty campaign cooked up on 4chan, an anonymous message board that's very famous for toxic and extremist chatters. Over the weekend, while Indian H-1B visa holders were already panicking about Mr. Donald Trump's sudden order asking them to pay a staggering $100,000 to return to the US, an online mob decided to make things worse for them. They called it Operation Clog the Toilet. Sounds childish? It was anything but. Here's what they did. Users began instructing each other to block tickets on India-US flights, and that too without actually blocking them. Why? To make it look like the seats were selling out. Airlines' algorithm then pushed up the prices, leaving desperate travelers with sky-high fares. Now, some Indians reported seeing prices jump overnight, more than Christmas, more than Thanksgiving, more than any peak holiday season. Can you imagine? You're stuck outside the US, you have just hours to return, and all of a sudden, your ticket costs more than your rent for an entire year. One H-1B worker, Vipul Kumar, told US-based publication that he logged in around midnight and couldn't believe his eyes. Prices had spiked so badly that he decided to wait. But many of his friends didn't have that luxury. They booked expensive tickets on Air India and even through long connecting routes like via Abu Dhabi or Europe just to make it back in time. And while real people were stressing over money and visas, the online trolls, they were celebrating. They egged each other on, posting comments like, "I salute you, I'll join too, and we'll need a patch for Operation Clog the Toilet." Now, on far-right forums which openly support Trump, the tone was even uglier, mocking Indians, calling them Jeets and cheering for their struggle. Can you imagine that much hate for Indians for no reason? Now, here's the important part. The order demanding $100,000 that was reversed within just a weekend. But the damage was already done. The ticket prices went up, families panicked, and the atmosphere for Indians in the US grew even more hostile. This wasn't just a prank. It was a coordinated online campaign just to make life harder for immigrants, specifically the Indians, mind behind the tech world. Coming back to the operation, then the name, Operation Clog the Toilet, wasn't just random either. It was a direct dig at Air India, which recently made headlines because several of its long-haul flights, they had turned back mid-air due to clogged toilets. Racism wrapped as jokes, weaponized against the entire community. And let's be clear here, this is not an isolated incident. The far right in America has long targeted the H-1B visa holders, accusing them of stealing the jobs. But what we are seeing now is the next stage, weaponizing technology, flight system, and online propaganda to actively disrupt the lives. So the larger question is this: if an anonymous forum can drive up flight prices for thousands of people in matter of hours, what else can coordinated online hate campaigns actually achieve? And most importantly, how long before authorities step in? Because for the Indian diaspora, this episode was not just about expensive flights. It was a reminder that racism, when left unchecked, doesn't just live online, it lands in your ticket prices, your travel plans, and your entire future.